Hey, good morning, everybody. We're back after a day of fighting technology yesterday. Um, but here we are. Overnight, crude is down $2 to $3 a barrel. That's really the only thing in the outside markets that's doing a whole lot today. Pretty surprising. I mean, we jumped back down to, I know it's still high, but $90, $91 a barrel versus May. It just seems like a couple days ago we were at 115 again. So, um, 10-day ceasefire continued or talked about yesterday. So we'll see if that continues to play out. The market obviously thinks some of this is on the mend as far as getting the Strait open, or we wouldn't be coming down in crude right now. Again, we're still high. Anybody that says we're at pre-trade war levels, I don't even know where they're getting at. I mean, we were in the upper 60s or so before this whole thing started, still in this upper 80 to low $90 a barrel. So we'll see what that trend looks like as we move forward here. We'll try to catch up here after missing yesterday with corn and soybeans. So December corn here, we had a nice start to yesterday, poked out those highs, some of those resistance levels that I've been talking about, but again, could not close above them, right? So made a high yesterday of 481. That will now be your line in the sand, kind of swing high. So if you take that out today, 481 versus December, then you got something going. I still think it's going to be tough to continue this move, even if we were to do that. Somewhere in the mid 480s, I think we'll probably hold this market. Right now, we are up 1 penny at 477 and three quarters. Just kind of stayed stagnant today. We did break yesterday's low last night, but we held up at the 5 day, as you can see there. So support will be the overnight low, 475 and a half, which is just below the 5 day at 476 and 1/8. So this is a really nice swing low now, that overnight. If you were to break that today, I would guess your selling would pick up pretty quickly, and we would push right back on down to that 470 level around where the 100 day is and all of these swing lows that we have here. So that it could be a quick movement day if we were to break that low. I would say that you would see some sell stops in there pretty quickly. So again, overnight or yesterday's high 481. That's kind of your upside area. That if we were to get through that, we would maybe see another leg up of 3 to 5 cents up around that 485 or so. And then the swing low last night of 475 and a half. You break that, I would say the move would pick up to the downside. Nothing special down here. This is an area here on the RSI at the halfway mark where you could see the market stall out and continue its downtrend. So again, on the other side, if you were to break up through this, then maybe we've got something cooking. Soybeans. Again, these trend lines aren't perfect, but you did manage, at least where this one is drawn, to close above this yesterday, even though you didn't really close near the highs. You closed mid-range yesterday after a pretty strong start to the day. We're currently down 2.5 on November soybeans at 1153 and a half. Looking at this, we're just kind of still staying within the range. The overnight low did poke below yesterday, matched yesterday's low, so not a great sign there. I would guess that it's likely that we would come down, work back sideways some more, get down to the bottom side of this trend line, and kind of keep this whole sideways action going before the market decides to make a choice here. If you were to get above yesterday's high of 1161, then possibly you'd see some additional buying there. You definitely would if we got above this 1164 and a quarter, like we've been discussing for a couple weeks. So we'll see. My best guess is that we're still going to stay within this range here for a little while before the market wants to make a choice here. Nothing special down here. This doesn't have any separation. We've just been moving sideways for a long time. I did think it was interesting to look back on this a little bit. You can see we've kind of been playing this game for a while, since last summer, where we have these moves. We kind of, make these big down moves, and then we come up and we chop sideways for a while, and then we make this down move. But we are getting higher lows and higher highs in every one of these, and I wouldn't be shocked if that's what we continue to see. So I wouldn't be shocked if we continue to see this breakdown out of this at some point, come down into this area somewhere, chop sideways again for a while, work out a low, and then make a higher high this summer, All right, so that is what I'm expecting right now, and it's interesting to just look back and see that that's what's been taking place this whole time since last summer. So I will not be shocked to see that be the case again. So again, that would mean that we'd break out the bottom side of this, we'd find a nice low, support sideways, and then work back up this summer into a new high again. So that's been the trend so far. All right, well, we will wait and see price action. Again, I don't expect a ton today. You could see some additional downside in corn if we take out that low from the overnight. All right, everybody have a great day.